Hi, and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of August, and 2020. We've got some great music to play, and we've got some news items to report to you. So stay with us and enjoy some great music as we get along with this. And we start off with Leo Sayer and Moonlighting.
This is the lesson learned. He gives us French cigarettes. They sit at the same table every time. The lights low, but their eyes shine. Just taking the music from those sweet soul bands. This man fights, holds on to his hand. He will slowly. Tonight's the night. Mom's cutting, so it's gotta be right. Another tape, her bag is bursting at the seams. She made sure to bring everything. Moonlighting, they're leaving everything. Moonlighting, they're losing all their friends. Moonlighting, it's the only way. But it means they'll stay together. They're gonna make it together. It's no respect, it's personality. Just by money and street. It's spread daddy, we spread. So we can drive it all last week. And it cost most of the money that it had saved up to pay for a seat. But it because it's worth it, cause the disguise is a must. When they go missing, they're gonna look for the man first. Whispers slowly, it'll be alright. I took some cash for my begging society, and my monthly check came in just right. Only they knew the way. They're leaving everything lonely, and losing all their friends. The printing works, the boss notices someone's not clocked in, and the water department of the council office have a message that Mrs. Potts' daughter is missing. And while the car I'll turn off the M6 far away, go black coffee eating hot cupcakes. She stares at him with build and shape, wonders at his power of staying away. So you did just fine. They shared the driving all through the night. She laughed, my mother would have lost her mind. We were only 10 miles from the 300 behind. Moonlighting, they're leaving everything. Moonlighting, they're losing all their friends. Moonlighting, it's the only way. It's free, but it means they'll stay together. They're gonna make it together. Moonlighting, they're leaving everything. Moonlighting, they're losing all their friends. Moonlighting, it's the only way. But it means they'll stay together. Every night I'm there, I'm always there. She knows I'm there, and heaven goes. I hope she goes. I wanted her to realize the love was in her eyes. It's dying now. She knows I'm crying now. And every night I'm back, I break my heart to please. And my Eloise is like the stars that please the night. The sun that makes the day, that lights the way. When that star goes by, I'll hold it in my hands and cry. Love is mine, my sun will shine. Every night I'm back, I break my heart to please Eloise. My Eloise, I love to please her. I love to hear she's lovely. So want to say I know this way. And as the days go on, the nights go on, I wanna
A great song from the 70s there. Eloise from Barry Ryan, and before that, Moonlighting from Leo Sayer. A little bit of news from the Herald, Newcastle Herald. Construction site across the Hunter will be subject to unannounced checks by the industry watchdog this week, following a recent string of safety breaches identified by workers and union officials. The Newcastle Herald revealed in April the dark side of Hunter's billion-dollar construction boom that insiders claim is masking a tragedy waiting to happen as builders repeatedly flout the safety rules. Inspectors began their high visibility safety checks across the region on Tuesday. The new blitz, announced by the Minister for Better Regulation, Kevin Anderson, is part of the crackdown to ensure the safety of workers across the building sector. We're kicking off a crackdown on high-risk harms on constructions across sites across the Newcastle region, Mr. Anderson said. Safe work will show zero tolerance for workers or the public being put at risk of serious or fatal injuries through the unsafe practices. And heavy on-the-spot fines will be handed out to anyone doing the wrong thing. Inspectors will also focus on height, electrical safety, falling objects, amenities, work safe and prevention of respiratory diseases such as cirrhosis, asbestosis. Also be checking sites to have appropriate COVID-19 measures in place to protect workers. An item there from the Newcastle Herald on Kenneth Report here on Old Time Radio.
Over in my suitcase, trying to find a warm place. Maybe the rains are falling. Seems I hear your voice calling. Alright. A rainy night in Georgia. A rainy night in Georgia. I believe that it's raining on. I feel that it's raining on. The signs of pleasure, taxi cabs and buses passing. A distant moaning of the dream. It seems to be so raining up in Georgia. Such a rainy night in Georgia. I believe that it's raining all over the world. I feel like it's raining all over the world. How many times I wonder, here comes out the sea. No matter if you look at it, lying, I swear, come to let us. Late at night when it's hard to rest, I hold your pictures to my breast. Rainy night in Georgia. Rainy night in Georgia.
Yes, Mamma Mia from ABBA from the 70s, and prior to that, Rain Night in Georgia from Randy Crawford. Yes, that was a favourite air of Kelly of Newcastle. I know he used to like that one from Randy Crawford with former Kelly. More news from Newcastle, and courtesy of the Newcastle Herald. Police say they are continuing to work with New South Wales Health to make sure people and businesses adhere to COVID-19 public health orders as the global pandemic continues. It comes after a man was arrested in Newcastle at the weekend for allegedly sneaking out of quarantine in Sydney and boarding a train to the Hunter, where he was arrested several hours later. The 31-year-old is accused of absconding from the hotel at Sydney Airport, with police becoming aware of his disappearance about 6 p.m. on Friday. He was arrested at Newcastle Interchange about 3 a.m. on Saturday after boarding a service at Central Station. Police tracked the man, who was from the Albury town of Thurgoona, near the New South Wales-Victoria border, to Newcastle. He was charged with not complying with notice direction and failing to comply with public health order. Police refused his bail and was then formally charged, refused Newcastle Bail Court on Sunday. He will face Central Local Court on Wednesday. The case was one of 17 instances of legal action police took for alleged breaches of COVID-19 public health in Newcastle. Was one of 6 people charged, while 11 others were issued with $1,000 fines. A Sydney CBD business received a $5,000 infringement notice. Officers conduct regular compliance checks with persons who are required to self-isolate, as well as business inspections to ensure venues are following COVID-19 ministerial directions. A New South Wales police spokesman said in response to questions about whether police were concerned about some people continuing to ignore COVID-19 restrictions. High visibility patrols throughout the community also aim to ensure social distancing guidelines are being followed. Officers will continue to conduct these proactive checks throughout all Hunter police districts and across the state as part of the ongoing statewide operation to ensure compliance with all orders under the Public Health Act. As always, if you have any symptoms, even mild, please do not travel and go and get tested. According to police data, more than 28,000 compliance checks on individuals across New South Wales since March 17, with 58,500 inspections of businesses. It comes as officers from Port Stephens, Hunter Police District were last weekend deployed on Murray River region to help colleagues at the state's southern border, verifying identifications and checking permits of police in New South Wales. That news item was by courtesy of the Newcastle Herald. Let's continue on with our music. Here's the Fantasy Strings now and Flamingo.
Please, please come back. Don't the train coming down the track. Don't please, don't leave me. Don't leave me in misery. You would never hold me so near. You would never hold me dear. Don't you know that I got for you? Now you don't that's what I'll do. Please, please come back. Don't take a train coming down the track. Don't please, don't leave me. Don't leave me in misery. Oh, long story, not too long. About a love that went all wrong. The girl left the boy just stand. Now she's gone, she's so sad. Love, please, please come back. Don't take a train coming down the track. Don't, please, don't leave me. Don't leave me in misery. You would never hold me so near. You would never call me dear. Don't you know I got for you? Now you gone, that's what I do. Love, please, please come back. Don't take no train coming down. Please don't.
Yes, don't take that train going down the track. Clive McFatter, and a great song there for him. Then Flamingo from the Living Strings. And you heard it there on the Kenneth Report. And another news item from the Newcastle Herald. There are 18 new cases of COVID-19 detected in New South Wales in the past 24-hour period, with the vast majority of these contracted through community transmission. With known outbreaks and the number of cases not linked to other sources continuing to grow, Premier Gladys Berejiklian has warned further measures could be introduced if the community does not increase its use of masks and distancing compliance. Businesses, especially those in the hospitality industry, also have been put on notice, with Ms. Berejiklian warning she would take further action if more businesses did not register their COVID-safe plan. New South Wales Chief Health Officer, Dr. Kerry Chan, said one of the new cases found in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. on Tuesday was from an overseas traveller and 2 were from interstate travellers. He said 13 of the new cases were locally acquired with links to existing outbreaks, and 2 did not have any links to known sources. The Tangara School for Girls outbreak has grown to 19, and Dr. Chan said tracing this outbreak was challenging for health officials. The source of this outbreak is still not known. And also in today's numbers, a second healthcare worker at Hornsby Hospital was diagnosed with COVID-19 but did not work while infectious. A third confirmed case was identified at Our Lady of Mercy College, which is not directly linked to 2 previous cases. Further, Parramatta Public School will not open for any on-site learning today after a student tested positive to COVID-19. The school is working closely with New South Wales Health to identify and notify close contacts. New South Wales Health has also confirmed yesterday's reports that 2 people were infectious with COVID-19 attended the Wingranger restaurant, the Worrell Ginger restaurant in Huskinson on August the 8th from 7:45 to 10:30 p.m. Patrons and staff who were at the venue during the time must self-isolate for 14 days and get tested for COVID-19, New South Wales Health said. Over the past 6 weeks, we've seen a number of locally acquired cases where the source has not been able to be identified, Dr. Chan said. Those are mainly occurring in Western Sydney and Southwest Sydney. She said people in these communities should come forward with even the most minimal symptoms and warn everyone to be on high alert. It's also time to reflect on our behaviours, she said, saying mask wearing and physical distancing was essential. You're listening to Kenneth Report, and it's coming to you on Old Time Radio. Let's get on with A World of Our Own from the Seekers.
Stay home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away. Just leave us alone, and we'll live. No one else can share. I cried for you so much, lonely nights without weeping, while I long for your touch. Now your lips can erase the heartache I've known. Come with me to a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. For their souls we need are the understand. And I know you will find there'll be peace and love when we live in a world. Let no one else can share all the sorrows we leave behind. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world. Just a little bit. I remember times, my love, when we began on. You were always there to make me smile and help me when I fall. I can't believe you're leaving me when there's so much more to say. I can't let you go. Every time I look at you, I still can feel the love. Let it be, let it grow. Love me, please. I'm just a little bit longer. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break it. Love me, please. I'm just a little bit harder. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break. Oh. And I see you standing because of someone else. Ooh, you know a girl can stand so much, and it's more than I can. Ooh, every time I look at you, I still feel you. Let it be, let it go. Just a little bit longer. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break it. Please, just a little bit harder. This much time just let me this much time up in the morning and out. American history practical man. Studying hard. Soon as 3 o'clock rolls around, right to the juke joint you go in. You gotta hear something that's really hot. Right into the you hail rock and roll. Deliver me from the table.
Yes, yes. Ring, ring, school bell. And that's from Chuck Berry and Yvonne Elliman before that, and a great one called Love Me. And we've got some news from the Adelaide Advertiser, and new crackdowns on shopping centres and licensed venues will be introduced, despite the state having recorded no new coronavirus cases for the past 5 days. As foreshadowed by the Advertiser, the state government has announced COVID marshals will be required on site for licensed venues, as well as cafes, gyms, large shopping centres, and food courts from August 21. Large hardware stores, supermarkets, places of worship, large retail outlets, and freight stations will also need a COVID marshal who will not have any legal authority but would be able to turn people away. As well, restrictions will be tightened for Victorian cross-border communities. Currently, people who live in cross-border communities are allowed to enter South Australia for school, work, medical appointments, and for other day-to-day reasons. As of August 21, those people will have to be approved as an essential traveller or will not be able to cross the border. There will be some exceptions, including Year 11 and 12 students and farmers whose properties span the border. And caps of people at home will be raised from 10 to 20, not including people that already reside at that home. Making the announcement on Wednesday, Police Commissioner and State COVID Coordinator Grant Stephen said the rising numbers of COVID cases in Victoria had prompted these rules. That was an article from the Adelaide Advertiser. It's Jimmy Dorsey in the orchestra now, and so rare.
Even how she smiles. And when I come to her, that's where I belong. Yet I run into her like a river song. She gave me love. She gave me love. She got fine sense of humor when I'm feeling low down. And when I come to her, when the sun goes down, take away my trouble, take away my grief, take away my heartache. And I like she give me love. She gave me love. Yeah, I need her at bedtime. Yeah, I need her. I need her. Yeah, I wanna throw my arms around her. And kiss and hug, kiss and hug her tight. Yeah, when I'm returning from so far away, she give me some sweet loving, brighten up my day. Yeah, it made me restless, and it made me whole. Yeah, it made me mellow, down to my soul. She give me love. She give me love. She give me love. She give me love.
Crazy Love from Dan Morrison and So Rare from Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra on the Kenneth Report. And this is coming to you from Old Time Radio. And we hope you're enjoying the great music that we're playing. And we'll have some track from Paul Anka in just a few minutes. Searching for 4 more people over a series of assaults at Ingle Farm on Sunday. Just after 5 a.m. on Sunday, police and paramedics were called to Sunbird Street after reports that a man had been stabbed. The 27-year-old victim was stabbed in the abdomen and remains in the Royal Adelaide Hospital in a stable condition. On Tuesday, Eastern District detectives arrested a 27-year-old man from Bedford Park and charged him with aggravated assault causing serious harm and affray. He was refused bail and appeared in the Port Adelaide Magistrates Court today. Police are searching for further 4 people over the serious assault. That was an item there from the Adelaide Advertiser. And you're listening to, of course, the Kenneth Report. And here's Paul Anka. Let the bells keep ringing.
There was a boy from the town of Napoli who sang a song so very soft and tenderly. He met a little girl with a flower in her hair. So we sang a song, and now there's such a happy carol. Let the bells keep ringing loud, ring out the joy. Let them spend their love, yes, for every drum boy. Let the bells keep ringing loud, ring out the joy. Let them send out their happy love. Well, this boy and girl took the walk one day down to the sands. We removed it today. They talked and they talked till there was light in their eyes. Then they kissed until the morning sun. They're all gonna let the little girl, yes, she is my loving wife. And our little house where we now stay, 16, a little moonlit veil, and the clouds keep hanging around. Camilla is her tender mile, and the clouds keep hanging around. Ring out the joy, little ring out the happy I did not know what you were about. So the couple of maybe gonna find out. Did not think you could ever care, but I'm out of control because you're taking me there. My love will last. It's coming on stronger, coming on so much Don't let me down. Hold the answer, don't turn it over. Didn't hesitate, told me to how you feel. There ain't no mistake, just how you feel.
Get used to it. And before that, a little Paul Anchor and Let the Girls Keep Ringing and Get Used to It was from Roger Voudouris. And you're listening to the Kenneth Report and coming your way. I hope you're enjoying the program. Just a reminder too, if you are feeling a little bit isolated or a little bit run or depressed and you need to get comfort, well, go on the computer and find the Hope 103.2 verse for the day and the Greg Laurie verse for the day. Now, they come up. The Greg Laurie comes on every night at just after 6 o'clock, and the Hope 103.2 comes on every day just after 5 a.m. So their verses that they put out are very, very interesting, and they will certainly bring comfort to you if you're feeling a little bit depressed or upset because you can't find work. Those comforting words from the Bible are wonderful to receive, and you'll get a lot of comfort by going to the Hope 103.2 website and downloading the verse of the day and the Greg Laurie verse of the day every day for the Hope 103.2 and Monday to Saturday for red lorry. So that's something to make you feel comfortable about, because it's important. And by the way, some news from the Herald Sun in Victoria, a photo shared on a social media allegedly showing a group of coronavirus cleaners wearing full personal protection equipment, eating after they'd cleaned a Mernda bakery, had sparked debate online. This comes as Baker's Delight confirmed on its Facebook page a Mernda team member tested positive to the deadly virus and informed the business on Monday. The photo shared in several northern suburbs Facebook groups by members of the public has the message written on it: Baker's Delight Mernda coronavirus cleaners using their phones and eating with the same gloves used to clean the bakery. It's not clear in the photo if any of the workers are eating, although one man appears to be on his mobile phone. The photo has attracted hundreds of comments online, with some labelling the actions of the workers so bad, but others believing it was not a big deal, when asking how the person who posted the photo knew the workers hadn't changed their gloves before sitting down. In a photo Facebook post on Tuesday, Baker's Delight Mernda confirmed it has been informed on Monday that a team member at Mernda Bakery has tested positive to COVID-19. The team member last worked on Tuesday, the 4th of August, and the bakery was closed as soon as we were notified of the test results, the post said. Both the team member and those who recently worked with them are now in isolation. We already have high cleaning and hygiene processes in place, but an extra precaution: the bakery will undergo a professional deep clean today, Tuesday. That was an article in the Herald Sun, in today's Herald Sun. And you heard it there on the Kenneth Report. Here's the birds now, and Mr. Tambourine Man.
I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready for to fade onto my own parade. As you dance into my way.
Yes, the March of the Mods from Joe Loss and the Orchestra and Mr. Tabarine Man. And prior to that, you're listening to the Kenneth Report and some more news from the Herald Sun. In Victoria, a Heidelberg West teenager has been banned from metro to committing a number of crimes in northern suburbs, including dangerous driving and car theft. Chase Matthews sped through Heidelberg in a stolen car at night with his lights off and pulled out a large knife as he chased someone who caught him trying to steal their car. The 19-year-old fronted Heidelberg Magistrates Court on Wednesday, August 5, having been locked up since police found him hiding in the attic of his mum's house on July 23. Matthews was arrested after the police helicopter tracked him as he drove dangerously to evade police just after 12:30 a.m. Police saw him driving a stolen Subaru fast through a reservoir, putting on their lights and sirens to pursue him before Matthews turned right across 4 lanes of traffic to get away. Constable Lauren Wilson said the police air wing then observed Matthews drive at 80 kilometres per hour up Upper Heidelberg Road with the car headlights. He and his brother broke into a Mazda in Bunno about 5 p.m. on August 25 and 2019 and used a tool to unsuccessfully try to force the ignition. When they got out of the car, taking the GPS, they were confronted by the owner and became verbally aggressive. The court heard the pair chased the owner and Matthews pulled out a large knife. Later this evening, he was seen arriving at the Austin Hospital with his brother in a stolen Volvo. 2 days earlier, he was caught on CCTV stealing $49.44 petrol from the Coles Express reservoir in a stolen Nissan. On August the 18th, 2019, 2 days before that, Matthew stole a Toyota from Maryborough Railway Station about 12:30 p.m. and drove it to Melbourne. Then stole a Nissan from Polaris Shopping Centre in Bundoora about 9 p.m. The court heard he also stole petrol from Coles Express on May the 14th, 2019, while driving a car that had been stolen from Northcote Plaza days earlier. Matthews was unlicensed during all incidents. He lived with a high-functioning autism